Big shout outs to our international listeners.
Woo!
You guys have put us on the Apple Podcast charts.
I know. It's amazing.
Please, it's blown us away. Listen how far the community has reached. Canada, Iceland, Colombia, Ireland, Hong Kong, Luxembourg, Australia, United Kingdom,
Korea, Japan, Guatemala, Ghana, New Zealand, Sweden, South Africa. I mean, is this crazy? We love that you enjoy the Vegas vibes. It's just wild to us to be on the podcast charts in your country, and we are just so grateful for you, and we would love to hear from you wherever you're listening. You can always email us a quick hello so we can formally say hello back. Feedback at keepingitcasualpodcast.com.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, I'm MJ.
And I'm Bree. Welcome to the Keeping It Casual podcast.
I'm married. I'm a mom, so I get it.
And Lord save me, because I am dating.
We're more than just a sex-positive dating and relationship podcast.
We want to share the perspectives on every kind of relationship while giving a voice to our listeners.
Plus tons of tips to boss up your life.
And sex life.
Your Vegas girls are here for you.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hello and good evening.
Good evening. It's been a minute.
And we'll get to that in a bit. Thank you to our amazing sponsor and friends at Like a Kitten who have just released their most personal and sexy box yet.
Oh, yeah.
And we will tell you more later. Always 20% off with code KEEPERS20 at likeakitten.com.
And to System Joe for keeping us all lubed up and ready for pleasure. They are spoiling you in this month's giveaway. We'll announce the winner in just a moment.
Thank you to Ryan and Tori from System Joe and their show All Lubed Up for inviting us to chat all things sex positive and how we run our podcasting business. You can watch us all chat live. Details on our website, keepingitcasualpodcast.com.
And last but not least, we want to thank you, our keeper. You know, you've supported us, inspired us, kept us going. We're just so grateful for this community we have built together over the last 3 years. All of our listeners, our folks who've given us ratings and reviews or joined and subscribed to our Patreon, you have really elevated us. Thank you.
Big shout outs to our international listeners.
Woo!
You guys have put us on the Apple Podcast charts.
I know. In other countries.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Please, it's blown us away. Listen how far the community has reached. Canada, Iceland, Colombia, Ireland, Hong Kong, Luxembourg, Australia, United Kingdom,
Korea, Japan, Guatemala, Ghana, New Zealand, Sweden, South Africa. I mean, is this crazy? We love that you enjoy the Vegas vibes.
Yes.
It's just wild to us to be on the podcast charts in your country, and we are just so grateful for you, and we would love to hear from you wherever you're listening. You can always email us a quick hello so we can formally say hello back. Feedback at keepingitcasualpodcast.com. It doesn't have to be a story or anything. Just be like, hey, I'm in Ghana and I'm listening. Who are you? We love you.
Right? And now it's time to spoil a listener.
Yes, it is.
Thank you for rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. That's how you enter the super sexy monthly giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
And we have bonus giveaways if you join our Patreon at the $5 level. And at the $5 level, you get our monthly specialty podcast the last Saturday of every month and the entire backlog.
That's right. All right. So this month's winner of a super sexy giveaway, it's going to be slippery. It's going to be sexy. It's going to make you feel amazing. Trust me. Who's our winner?
Kaylin B26.
Oh, hello.
Listen for a good time. 5 stars. Love listening to the podcast for a fun alternative to my usual true crime. What's up, girl? Or, yeah, girl. I'm going to assume you're a girl. Always a good laugh, and I have learned a thing or two, and then a little devil emoji.
Okay. I love that. Bree's totally true crime and sex, so I like that. That's your girl right there.
That's my girl.
That's my girl, too, okay?
Yes.
I'm here for the sex. So let's talk about where we've been, because we've been coming at you weekly for a long time. For over 3 years, we've been hitting you with a pod every single Wednesday. That is commitment.
I mean, granted, we took a few weeks off here and there.
Yeah.
Not a few weeks at a time.
Maybe
We were
1
just
week.
we're like, okay, we're not releasing anything on Christmas.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
On New Year's, we're done. You know?
Or when the whole world was like, nobody better talk about anything but this week. We were like
But, we were there for you through pandemic and stuff. We took a little summer vacation, much needed, and we weren't going to. We were only going to take a week off.
We were. And then things happened, life happened. And Bree went through something.
I'll talk about it. My grandmother, she went into the hospital, and we were going to record an episode, and I was just like, I can't. And then she ended up passing away, and I said, I need a break.
For Bree to be so worried about the podcast and us doing our thing, I said,
Yeah.
It's okay. You need to take a break. You need to be present with your family, because when you are churning out things weekly, it can become so overwhelming and it can get to you. I mean, this is 3 years going.
Yeah, and one of the things is like there was no way I could authentically tell people to live their best lives and talk about fun shit and whatever when I didn't want to get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, and you didn't know what was going to happen, and then you were going through grief.
I'm still going through grief. Like
Yes.
there's no
No.
ifs, ands, or buts about it. The woman helped raise me. I'm gonna start crying right now.
No, it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
Every tear is closer to healing.
It's been rough. I also got a really huge promotion.
That's good stuff, but a lot more on your plate.
Because I'm doing 2 jobs right now. I'm working probably 60 hours a week on my day job, doing 2 jobs, and
I know. People are like, yay, promotion, more money, more bigger title, more responsibility, more time on your plate. And it's just
2
very
titles.
demanding.
It is very demanding. I'm at a point right now where like that pause was needed.
Yeah. And for myself, I just got to a point where I was just feeling like I'm a very creative person and I'm very charged. I'm always in it, you know? And so it just became to where I was really distracted. I found myself like trying to be present with my family and my kids, and I was like, oh my God, I have to edit tomorrow, or I have to record. I was just getting so overwhelmed, and it wasn't anybody's fault but mine. It was just like I'm having trouble balancing things. And I feel like after 3 years, we've changed. Our lifestyles have changed. So much has changed.
Yeah.
And it was hard to just allow each other to have a moment to just be like, we can stop for a minute. People know we're going to come back and we're going to do things, but we just need a moment to take a break.
And what was crazy
You
is
get burned out.
I didn't even realize it until we stopped how much we put into it, and that's something I told you off the mic. Like,
Yeah.
she approached me with the idea that we're going to talk about in a little bit, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, we can't do that.
Nope.
I was like, we can't do it. We got to do this. We got to do that. And then
We got people listening in Iceland. We got to deliver.
We got to deliver. We got to. And I don't want to say I hated the idea at first, but I was just like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. No.
You've built up this brand. You've built up this
Yeah.
reputation. You've built up this show.
Yeah.
We are for no way giving it up or stopping
No,
it. But
it's going to be a bit of a pivot, and we'll get to what's happening in a little bit. But when we had to take a pause, I finally like took a deep breath and realized like, oh, this is a grind. On top of a full-time job, we're putting 30, 40 hours in
Yeah.
a week to this too, and
Yeah.
being a mom is a full-time job too. I mean,
yeah.
that never stops. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Whether you're a housewife, whether you're a full-time worker, whether you're a part-time worker, whether you're an overtime worker,
Yeah.
no matter what, like whatever you have on your plate, when you start to feel overwhelmed and you have to look at your life and be like, what's the problem? And the crazy thing is I went to visit a friend in Montana about a
Yeah.
month before I got back, and I lost my phone. And my phone was like my work connection.
Yeah.
My emails, my notes. I'm always taking notes. I'm
Yeah.
always trying to come up with content. I'm always researching. And I lost my phone, so I go on this trip to Montana to visit my beautiful friend Amy and her baby. And I'm like, okay, so now I have a loaner phone. I'm like on my daughter's phone, and I have no connection to anything. And I just kind of was forced to be checked out of my routine. And I even brought my laptop on my vacation. Okay,
I
she's
told you
like-
not to.
She's like, you brought your laptop, but I had things. This is me. This is the type of person I am.
it was funny because she was like, hey, when I'm at the airport, do you think I could do this? And I was like, no.
I could, but she's like, no.
I straight up, I told you no. Because it was something that like, yeah, you could have done, but no.
Well, yeah, I was like at the pool, and I fucking lost my phone the day before. And it was like,
Yes.
phone insurance was like, we'll get it to you in 2 days. I'm like, but I leave tomorrow. I'm like, it was the best thing that happened to me
Yeah.
because I was really forced to
Disconnect.
disconnect from everything. And I'm like sitting, I mean, she took me all over. I mean, this is like Big Sky, Montana. She took me to lakes and waterfalls and all these imagined beautiful places. And I remember we like drew cards. We were drawing these little,
Yeah.
intention cards. And she's like, do you have some? And I was like, I do. I was like, why am I feeling so overwhelmed with my life? Why do I feel like I can't keep up with my life?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm ignoring my children. I feel like I'm ignoring my husband, my whole, my friends. I love doing this with you so much. It's just a huge passion and a great business we've built. And I put it out on the cards, and I was like, I need to know what to do. And I swear to God, like 2 weeks later, I was like, this is what we need to do. And Bree was not there.
Not at first.
But of course, you were going through like major stuff with your family.
Yeah.
Your grandmother got sick, and it was scary. And
She dropped a bombshell on me, and I was like, no, I can't even emotionally handle it. I don't want to talk about it. Leave me
yeah, it
alone.
just started with like, take the break. Just you take a break and don't worry about it.
Yeah. But you know what? I will say this. I feel like we came to a point in our friendship where we weren't even talking about
Anything.
but business.
Yeah.
And now we've reconnected as friends. Not that we weren't friends.
No.
And we weren't like at each other's throats or anything. It was just like we only had time to talk about business. We never had time to talk about
for.
We never had time to talk about anything personal in our lives, and then now we do.
We shared all of our personal lives with you guys. That was our catch up,
sorry.
and we used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just made me a better friend, a better wife. So came up on our 3-year anniversary too.
We've been churning out 5 episodes a month for you guys.
Yes, we have. And we also started filming video commercials last year for our sponsors. So at one point in time, we were doing 7 productions a month.
That's where we really burnt out, I think.
And I think after that, like close to March, after I lost a friend and I had to go away, that's when big life things hit us this year. And we realized like it's not do or die with the podcast. This is something we love to do. We care about it. And also looking at all the other podcasters, what they're doing. When we started, it was still kind of new thing to do. There wasn't like someone was like, you want to do a podcast? Then here's how you do it. We just kind of like, well, here's how we want to do it. And I guess this is how you follow. And then we got, okay, it has to be weekly. It has to be this. It has to be that. And then I think we just stopped and had a conversation. Be like, it has to be what we want to make it.
Yeah. So we're going to give you 1 episode a month.
Yes.
It's going to come out the last Wednesday of every month.
Patreon. We will be doing our monthly giveaway still for the rating and reviews.
Yes. Patreons. You guys are still getting your specialty podcast. If you guys want more from us, join the Patreon. But really,
it's only $5.
We were talking about it. You know, our girl Shanti left Muses.
Yeah, from Muses podcast.
And Lynx is like
at the same time things were evolving for us.
Lynx and I had a long conversation about how she's going to pivot that podcast, and I'm not going to tell you guys anything about that.
Yeah,
but
you have to listen to Shanti's last episode.
Oh my God,
so
tearjerker!
They're awesome.
Yes, and you know, Shanti and I had a long conversation about it too, because
they did it for 5 years.
They did it for 5 years, but I was talking to her. I was telling her what we're doing, because we hadn't announced it to you guys yet. I said, this is what we're doing. I don't know where I'm going to be at a point, and she said, I'm not worried about you though. But the one thing is, like, MJ came to me and she was like, well, why don't you like go be Lynx's co-host? And I said, I mean, I might pop in for an episode here and there if she wants me.
I didn't say go be Lynx's co-host. I said, why don't you see if Lynx wanted some help? I think you would be amazing. I'm not cheering you. Like, she would get a quarter of you. Anyway, I still get all of you.
But anyways, my reply was, no, doing this gives us more time to research stuff. Now, we've always had like a little bit of research, but we've never been a true research-based podcast.
It's been a more like casual conversation. Like, this was our catch-up. This is us being friends. You've gone through our friendship together, and we throw a lot of cool,
you know, sex, dating, but
content we
really want to be able to
dive into
why do people cheat? Dive into, you know,
why does a long-term relationship fall apart, and why do people stop having sex?
How do you spice up your sex life with all 5 senses?
Yeah, like we really want to dive into some really deeper, more focused conversation for you.
And we need time to research, because we do have lives outside of this. Now, I mean, if we start making millions and millions of dollars on this, would we come back to you probably 4 episodes
a week? Fuck yeah.
Because we'd have an editor.
We got a private jet. Yes, exactly. You know,
we got a PJ.
You know, editing the show is not
easy.
It's fun recording, man, but that after production, it's a production to do a podcast. So, and I told Bree this, I said, listen, after 3 years of doing a sex, dating, and relationship podcast and just really forming this really amazing business together, I am so proud of us.
Yeah.
Like the consistency, the work ethic, nobody's telling us to do this shit. We do it. So it was really powerful for us to sit down and be like, we make the rules here.
Yeah.
And we want you to know that we love you so much, and we're not going to just go away. We're going to still bring you stuff, but it's just going to be at a different consistency.
And we are kind of pivoting into a lot more live stuff.
Out here in Vegas,
hosting certain live shows we might stream on Twitch. So if you want to watch us live on Twitch, you know, that's an extra episode a month.
We have workshops we have ahead.
Yeah, we're going to start doing
workshops. We want to do.
Yeah, we're going to start doing workshops and stuff.
We want to connect with you in Sweden.
Yes.
We want to get there.
Yeah.
But we want to do more interactive things. We want you to look forward to actually, I want to have a Vegas trip because when I get there, I'm going to see something. I'm going to do something with MJ and Bree because there's a Keeping It Casual event because we want to take Keeping It Casual more live. We want to connect with you more in person because it's what we really love to do.
And we want to be able to coach you more.
Yeah.
And that's really what these live workshops and stuff are going to be about. Sex Toys 101, intimacy classes.
Yes. And what Bree and I, we've been talking about this for a long time, but we haven't had the time to do it as we really are interested and intrigued and
going to school.
Doing schooling and doing some getting certified as like relationship coaches that are really going to take this brand that we've built. We've researched so much, but you know, having a certification or having a stamp of like official schooling behind something, it means a lot, and it's definitely something we want to take to the next level.
We're in much different places than we were 3 years ago.
We
were both employed at the radio station.
Yeah, let's just vibe on that for a minute. So yeah, we were working together at the radio station. I was on air.
You were on air.
Radio was my life. It was my identity. It's all I knew. It's all I knew for like 80 years. I'm just kidding. It was like
85
It
years.
was almost 15 years.
Yeah, and you know, I was in a much different place.
You were administrative assistant at the radio station. You were running shit. You were killing it.
I was falling in love.
Logan is 3.5 now.
You had just had him.
I just had him. He was just a baby. He was 1 year old, you know?
Less than.
He wasn't even a year old.
He was not even a year old.
And I'm
yet.
like, I'm going to fucking start a podcast. And I feel like now it's like they've grown into these little humans that demand so much more attention. It's my job to really put them first. And for a long time coming out of the radio station was always my first priority because it's work and it's easy to make it first priority, right? But when I got fired and let go, I had a lot to prove.
Yeah.
I had a lot to prove. I even had a little chip on my shoulder, but it just gave me the ammo to take this full steam. And I had a partner who was willing to just go into it and give it her all as well. And we fucking loved it and we fucking did it. But
and we still do.
So yes, but somewhere along the way, and I think it was just this last year, especially after quarantine, it was just like, whew, what's next? You know, like, where are we going with this? What do we want to do with this? Are we going to compete with Joe Rogan, or are we going to look more into things that are live and local and still be a podcast?
And, you know, I've got to give a shout out to our friends at Don't Tell Comedy because I think they really kind of helped us
see our potential.
Remind
us of our potential.
And, you know, Erica Bell, who was our last episode we released, she made us a cocktail.
Yeah, she specialized. She gave us a cocktail name.
And so people do believe in us, and we still believe in us. And like I said, we're not going anywhere. You're just not going to get as much of us.
Yeah, but if you do want our specialty podcast, we put a lot of work in that too because
yes, we do.
It's about more than what we've been doing on the show here.
Yeah.
That was our chance to be like, we can do a lot of other fun things. And if you like our work, please support the show because $5 from you really huge for us. And it keeps us going.
I find it interesting because MJ was kind of asking me, can we take a break? And I was like, we can't take a break. We've got potential sponsors and we've got this and we've got all these things going on. We've got to...
that was in March when I lost my friend. Yeah. That's when I first was like going through some grief. I think going through something like that, now that we both really did, it just took me back a perspective and was like, something's got to change. I'm churning my wheels and I need a break.
Yeah, and I was just like, we can't. We have potential. And then when my grandma passed away and I realized like I needed a break, I was like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah, you guys who listen, you care about us. You know we're not going anywhere. We're just gonna slow it down a little bit.
And I told you one day, I said, you know what? My grandma gifted us with the break that we really did need.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I don't want to say it that way, I mean, I just fucking miss her so much.
I know. I'm so blessed that I met her.
I'm so happy
She's
you met
adorable.
her too.
And when I saw her picture, I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah, when I sent you her obituary?
Yes, you look like her. You know, and just for you in general, you listening, you might be going through something where you've just been churning away, and all of a sudden you're like, I don't know what needs to change, but something needs to change. You just need to say it out loud into the universe, and all of a sudden, the epiphany was real. This is what we need to do. Yeah. I think one show a month would be huge because we're actually doing 2. We're also doing our Patreon, which is the last Saturday of every month. Just scaling back a little bit. And people love to see a change. You're doing the same thing for a million years. They're like, all right, it's like, ooh, people love to see like a good shift.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling something like that in your life and you're feeling like, God, I want to get out of this job. I keep saying I'm going to do it. Maybe you're in a relationship. You're like, I got to get out of this relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe you have some terrible habits that you're just like, I got to quit fucking doing this. Like, it's time to just take some action, and it's okay.
That was another thing. I remember when we paused. I'm going to the gym every single morning.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things in my life that it was like I didn't have, and it's not that I never had time to go to the gym, but I was doing like my little 20-minute at-home workouts. But I'm really actually like working out, and you know, there's a lot of things that I think I kind of put to the side of my life. I honestly went on my first date in a really long time because I was putting a lot of things aside in my life that I just, you know, I'm a career woman first.
Yes.
At the end of the day, I have 2 career paths right now, and that's everything. I put my career first, career, and to the point where I was like, well, I'm managing a career, I'm managing a social life, I'm managing, you know, I manage to see my family, I'm managing all of it, so it's fine.
Feeding your soul and feeding your spirit with the little thing, like, what do I want? What do I like? What do I want to do? What do I like to do besides the obvious working, podcasting? It just became so much of our identity.
Yeah.
And I think that was another thing. One thing with me is like, I don't like to fail. I don't like to fail, and sometimes almost like slowing down, admit it. It feels like a little bit like, at first it felt like, no, we can't stop because we got to keep going. Otherwise I feel like I'm going to feel like a failure. Like I can't keep up. I can't
even
grinding away.
Failure thing. It was like, well, that's my part of my identity. How am I going to get rid of that part of my identity?
Yeah.
But I'm not.
No, we're just doing it different. Yeah, it was so hard to like scale back on that work ethic. We both have incredibly strong work ethic, so we wouldn't be doing this long. And you know, so it's hard for us to be like, we need to slow down and give ourselves some space. So maybe you're a workaholic. Maybe you give too much. Maybe you're giving too much in the wrong areas and you're spinning your wheels. Like, look at that and just be like, I don't need to do all this. I need to set some boundaries for myself because I'm feeling overwhelmed. You know, it's just, I've been connecting back with myself, like mentally. I've been meditating. I'm on day 8 of a 14-day meditation journey that I've tried to do like 6 times, and I just like fall off somewhere in the middle. And Boho Beautiful on YouTube. I love her. I'll share the link.
That's where I was going with like my workouts and stuff. Is like you always fall off. You're like, all right, at least I made it to the gym 3 days a week. No, I am going consistently every single morning, 6 days a week. Sunday I do yoga.
Fuck yeah, move your body, get in touch with yourself. And I know so many people. I know it's not just us that have been doing something for so long that we truly love, and we don't see another way to do it. Maybe it's just looking at what you're doing. And maybe there's just a different way to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a different way because we found a different way. And
so if you're coming out here for your bachelorette party,
you need to reach out because we got things happening. We got big thing. We had a big meeting tonight.
We did.
There's a beautiful place inside Resorts World called Pepper. They invited us down to check it out, and they have some big plans. They're just getting started. They're kind of a sexual health and wellness place.
Yes.
And it was funny because all these opportunities started popping up while we were taking a break.
Yeah.
And we're like, what the hell?
Where were you guys when we were like grinding away?
Fuck yeah. It's like, what you think, like, if I slow down at this, I'm never going to get it back up. So if you're feeling overwhelmed with anything in your life, I think it's good to take a look at it. And if you want to keep it in your life, then it's time to do it in a different way. And don't give a fuck about what anybody thinks. For a long time, I cared what everybody thought because coming from the radio world and being fired, and it felt
there's
embarrassing and
egos and narcissism in the radio world.
Egomanias.
And
but
you know,
it's okay.
But like I said, we really want to give you some more research-based topics. We really need room to breathe and research. Mm-hmm. You can miss us now.
Yeah, you're gonna miss us. What's a girl to do when she runs out of her favorite Like a Kitten products?
How about a box full of all her most wanted sensual pics with their latest BYOB? Build your own box.
Now you can choose the products that fit your sexual desires. 6 categories with over 60 items to choose from. A $200 value, all for just $69.
Your pick of a toy, beauty product, lube, sexual activity, accessory, and lingerie.
This box is a steal. Head to likeakitten.com and use code KEEPERS20 at checkout for an additional 20% off. Every woman is unique, and your sex toys should be too.
Mix and match your BYOB box today at likeakitten.com, code KEEPERS20.
What was one of your favorite Patreon episodes that we did?
Oh, I like our game nights.
I love the game nights. We just fucking whip out these games and we go at it. And you can
Yes.
play along with us, like with a friend. I love doing the sexy stories
All
in
right.
the dark with you.
Ah, that's fun.
Oh my God.
Yes,
If
we
you
write our own erotica.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So now you know the pivot, what we've been up to. Also, I've had a 4-day weekend of 3-ways.
Oh my God.
I'm getting laid still. Don't worry. And I went on a date.
Yes. I am connecting with my husband and my kids.
So you're having no 3-ways,
amazing.
but you're fucking your husband.
I am fucking my husband.
Did
and
you
I
fuck
am
the night that we all went out?
having more quality time? Oh God, when we ended up at the strip club?
Yes.
We saw all the impersonators show. Then we ended up at the strip club. And yes, we ended up fucking that night. Absolutely.
Good.
After
okay.
the strip club.
I got laid that night too.
Oh my
by
God.
2 people.
Bree's having, what is it, the Bree-way?
The Bree-ways. All the Bree-ways.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we all went out. We got to see this dope-ass show called 27.
Yep, the 27 Club.
It's about the 27 Club, and it's at
Okay.
Virgin.
Janis Joplin,
Jim Morrison.
Amy Winehouse, Jimi Hendrix.
Cobain.
Oh my God. Bree and I were like, we acted, because we haven't been to a concert. We were like, we're going to lose our fucking minds when Jim Morrison comes out here.
And we did.
She's like, I'm not emotionally ready for this. I was like, I'm not either. We were just like, ah!
And then he was super hot. And then when we talked to him after the show, he's British in real life. And I was like, cool.
Oh God. And then what did we do after that? We were partying at the Hard Rock.
Oh, well, it's not the Hard Rock. It's the Virgin.
Oh, that's
we
right,
went
that's
to
right.
Money Baby.
And then I was like, who wants to go to the strip club?
So we went to the strip club.
And guess who walked in like the fucking OG
You
princess? They
Well,
were
first off, those little bitches at the, because okay, you're supposed to, if you're a Vegas local, you're supposed to be able to get into the strip clubs for free.
Yes, and if you show up in a taxi or an Uber, you have to pay full price.
Which we've talked about before.
Yes.
But we showed up in my car because I was sober that night and I was designated driver. So we showed up in my car, and first they were like,
It's $50 a head.
and I was like, what? Why? And
Think so.
she goes, well, did you take an Uber or a taxi here? And I said,
No.
no, we took my car. And she goes, well, you have to be a Vegas local. And MJ was like, do you know who blah, blah, blah? Like, she's like,
Yeah.
is blah, blah, blah working
I
tonight?
dropped my boy's name 10 years ago. Still head VIP host. He was
She's like,
what's up?
She's like, is so-and-so working tonight? And she goes, are you guys locals? And we were like, yes. And she was like, I just need to see a local ID, and then you guys can all get in for free. And we were like, fuck you, bitch. And I was like, yeah, here's our local IDs. And then I asked MJ, I was like, what was she gonna do? We were local. And she goes, oh, she would have pocketed that
Pocket
one.
it, yep. I
Those
know how
skeezy little bitches.
Skeezy strip clubs. But anyways, I did go see my buddy, and he just treated me like a queen. And he was like, Mary Jane. Yes, that's where MJ came from.
Yeah.
And he got us all drinks, and it was fun to just like go to the strip club. I only did one TED Talk in the bathroom.
No, you did too.
Just one. It was one TED Talk. And
There was
she-
the real estate woman, but I thought
She
there was.
wanted to be a real estate agent.
I thought there was another one you were giving a TED Talk
just
to.
one. I didn't have time for TED Talks. I promised myself I wouldn't do it, but this one bitch was
I
like
thought you
asking
did
me
over by the
questions.
bar.
That was my real estate agent. She's like, oh, I'm
No,
just so
that
sick
was
of
at the
this."
bathroom. No, at the bar, didn't you give a TED Talk?
No, I was trying to hook up our friends with some strippers.
Oh, that's what you were doing.
yeah, I was like, yo, my
Okay,
friends
so
over here
MJ's
want some
actually okay. She
strippers.
gave one TED Talk, but she gave other TED Talks to our friends who we brought to the strip club. Who were like, she was like, so this is how you get a girl
Yeah.
to get you. and then
That's
nobody.
not a TED Talk. That's just some street roles in
None of the
club.
girls were coming up to us. So then, except for that one chick who came up to me, she's like, "Oh, your boobies are real," and I was like, "Yeah." And then she was like, "Do you want to dance?" And I said, "No." And then she gave me a bad look and walked away. And I was like,
She just came in past your Russian mafia. Yeah.
She had bangs. I just called her bangs. I was like, "What's up, bangs? Fucking get away from me! Don't touch my boobs."
How weird was it to like? It was just so casual to be at a strip club and everybody's in masks. Remember when that was like one of the first things last year? You're like, could you imagine the strippers wearing masks?
Yeah,
Like
and
it was just like such a bizarre
they
thought.
take their masks off on the stage and then they put them back
I
on.
don't give a fuck. Someone wear them on the stage. Then it's part of their
I
like
think they did.
secret ninja uniform.
Anyway, but we
Such a new world.
we go there. You know, you gave one TED Talk and told the lady to start her real estate business.
I was like,
and-
bitch, get it going because this body ain't gonna last forever, and you look way older than when I retired. So it's time.
Yeah.
Start the business. Take the test tomorrow, honey. It's time.
And then you got hella laid and I got hella laid.
Oh fuck yeah! It was a fun time. It was
was.
good to get out. So much has happened since the last time we talked. We used to catch up on every little detail, but really we just wanted to touch base with you.
Oh, actually, I did
Oh.
want to talk about our 3-year anniversary party that I had to host on my own.
Well, the week prior, it was me and Chris's anniversary.
Yes.
So Chris and I don't know. Will my English ever be better?
It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Will I ever spell in a text? No, I text like a maniac.
It's okay.
We did a staycation, stayed at Resorts World where Pepper is.
Yes.
Fantastic new spot. Just partied all fucking night. We stayed in the infinity pool all day. We just had a massive, amazing party day. So when you drink for probably 5 hours in a pool in Vegas in July, you're probably going to get dehydrated and hungover, and then 2 days later you get really sick. I had like body aches and chills, and I was like, I'm not feeling so good. It wasn't COVID, because it was like there was no coughs and fevers. It was just my body shutting down, and I feel like no.
She felt like shit. And then she called me Thursday. We had a party on Saturday, and she was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God. I have to tell you the emotional roller coaster. Thursday she was sick. I was like, well, I can't cancel it. It's okay. It's okay.
Cancel it.
I was like, she had 3 days. She has 3 days to get better. She calls me on Friday. I feel great. I just did some yoga. I was like, oh, okay, good.
No, I said I was going to do some yoga.
Oh. I thought you said you just did some yoga. She's like, I feel great. It's fine. And I was like,
I don't remember.
I was like, oh, okay, cool. And Saturday morning, she's like, I can't do this. She's like, the show must go on. And I was like, I can't, okay. I thought I could handle it. And I did. Granted, I did.
Of course.
Shout out to our friend BS who brought us flowers.
Oh, my God.
So sweet. I got the flowers because MJ wasn't there. MJ did not show up to our 3-year party, you guys.
I missed our 3-year karaoke anniversary party with all the weird shit that's gone on this year with the pivot and with like it just was like, of course. I mean,
so I got drunk. I was announcing to everybody who was there. I was like, guys, we're going down to 1 episode a month. So it's fine. Whatever. But it was so. I called her like 2 days later because I think I gave you the next day. Nope, we talked the next day. I was super hungover, and I was like, I can't do this without you. I was like, cannot do keeping it casual stuff without you.
So
I was like,
mad at
it was
myself
so
for just being
hard.
Sick, you know.
I was so mad at myself the next day after our party because I was on another level.
God, all the songs I wanted to sing. And that's the feeling. Like Saturday, I was like, I can't sing a song. I can't be in a smoky bar. I can't even drink. Ugh. I was just like, I'm dead. I can't. I would have pulled my ass together if I could have done any of those things, and I too sick.
It was just like
this life.
It was very hard to like. I was like, I couldn't bounce from table to table. It was so hard without you. And then I did a special song for us, and I'm going to end it with this. I had this plan in my head for our 3-year anniversary that I was going to do a very special song for MJ. And I still did it. She just didn't get to see it.
Why does this make me get a little choked up out of everything?
Because I had plans for you.
You're going to serenade me. I love it.
And I gave my song to the karaoke DJ, and he started laughing because he knew it was going to be a banger. I get called to the stage, and I walk out, and I'm like, this is the greatest and best song in the world. Tribute. A long time ago, my sister MJ and I were walking. So now, had she have been there, I would have said this is the history of... No! I did it anyway. Actually, I was so drunk by that point. I still did it. I walked out and I said, this is the history of Keeping It Casual podcast tribute. I did tribute by Tenacious D, but I made it kind of about us, but really I didn't change the lyrics all that much because there's no way I could have done that.
Just the intro. That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
I fucking love you.
And I think it brings it all back around because if you recall, I told a very sad story about Tenacious D and tribute, and I have owned that song now. On the day that my ex married the girl he cheated on me with.
My God.
On our anniversary. And I liked...
You can have her, but I'm having Tenacious D will be mine.
But it was our anniversary, too. It's mine and yours anniversary. And he ended up marrying her on that day. And I was like, I like to believe that's about me, but it's probably not. But you know what?
Fucking A.
You take my anniversary date.
Oh, my God.
And I think that's where we're going to end it.
Oh, my God.
Put on tribute, guys.
Give me hugs. Bring it in. I love you so much.
I love you, too.
I'm so proud of what we've done.
We're not going anywhere.
No, we're
just
not.
doing it differently.
We just doing a little switcheroo, and I hope you do too if you ever feel any pressure in your life and you take a look at it and shake things up a little bit. Everybody loves a comeback. Everybody loves like, ooh, what's she doing now?
Until next month.
Until next month.
Bye.
Bye.